Most producers have no idea which level they're actually at, and that blind spot is exactly why they stay stuck. There are ranks to this, real ones, and where you fall on that ladder determines everything. What you should be making, how you should be spending your time, and what's actually holding you back. Level 1. The bedroom producer. You've got a laptop, maybe a cracked plugin, and a folder called Beats that nobody has ever heard. This is where every single producer on the planet starts, and most of them stay here far longer than they should, not because they're not talented, but because they don't know what this level actually demands of them. At level 1, your only job is volume. Not quality. Not branding. Not sending beats to artists. Volume. You are training your ear to close the gap between what you hear in your head and what comes out of your speakers, and the only way that gap closes is repetition. Think of it like a new athlete drilling the same footwork pattern hundreds of times before a coach even looks at their form. The craft has to become automatic before anything else can be built on top of it. Here's what separates the producers who move past level 1 from the ones who spend 3 years in the same bedroom with the same cracked plugin. They treat every beat like a finished product. Not a demo. Not a rough idea, a finished product. That discipline, the habit of actually completing things, is the muscle that every higher level runs on. Without it, you're not building a career, you're building a collection of unfinished files. The trap at level 1 is comparison. You open a streaming platform, you hear what's charting, and you decide your stuff isn't good enough to share. So you sit on it. You keep tweaking. You convince yourself one more plugin, one more sample pack, one more YouTube tutorial is what's standing between you and being ready. It isn't. What's standing between you and level 2 is output. Public output. Level 2 is where that changes, and it changes fast. The moment you start releasing beats consistently, even to a small audience, even to 0 listeners, you enter a feedback loop that the bedroom phase never gives you. You stop making beats in a vacuum. You start making beats in response to reality. That shift in orientation is the exact thing that unlocks the next rank, and it costs you nothing except the decision to actually do it. Level 2. The student. You bought the controller on a Tuesday, and a Akai MPK Mini, $80-something, saved from a shift you didn't want to work. It arrives in a box that feels too light for what you paid for it. You plug it in. You open Florida Studio or Ableton for the first time with a real MIDI signal feeding into it, and something about that changes the room. You are now watching tutorials at 1.5x speed and pausing every 30 seconds. This is the phase that feels like progress because it looks like progress. You're learning vocabulary, reference tracks, mixdowns, sidechain compression, low-end separation. You can name the problems in a professional record now. You just cannot fix them in your own session yet, and that gap, between knowing and doing, is the specific frustration that defines this entire level. Your beat sounds correct in the tutorial. It sounds wrong when you try it yourself. You cannot hear why. That's the part nobody warns you about. The tutorial producer's room, their monitors, their ears trained over a decade, none of that transfers. What transfers is the concept, and the concept alone is not enough yet. You bounce your first real export. You send it to one person. They say it sounds good. You know they are being kind. You carry that without letting it show. Then something shifts. Not dramatically, quietly. You are deep in a session, fighting the low end, and you solo the kick against the bass, and suddenly you hear the collision that's been muddying every beat you've made for months. You fix it. It's a small adjustment. But the mix opens up and you sit back and realize you have been mishearing music your entire life. Everything you listen to now sounds different. You hear the space around the snare. You hear where the vocal sits in the stereo field. You hear what the mastering engineer did to the top end. This is not comfortable. It is like learning a word and suddenly hearing it everywhere, except the word is craft, and it's in every record you've ever loved, and you missed it completely until now. You post a beat online for the first time. It gets 3 plays. 2 of them are you. That gut punch moment when the mix finally opens up and you realize, oh no, I've been mishearing everything. Has that hit you yet? Or are you still nodding along pretending you can hear it? Be honest in the comments. Either way, buckle up, level 3 is where it gets brutal. Level 3, the hustle. You open a beat store page on a Wednesday night. You upload 6 beats. You set the price at $49 because that number feels serious without feeling unreachable. Then you wait. 6 weeks pass. Nothing. You lower the price. Not because you've done the math, because the silence is louder than the logic. You drop it to 29. Then to 19. Then, at 11 on a Wednesday night, a notification arrives. Someone bought a beat. The amount is small. You stare at the screen longer than the number justifies. This is the first time the work has produced money, and the money is almost beside the point. What it proves is that the work is real. That someone, somewhere, heard it and decided it was worth something. You sit with that for exactly 1 minute. Then you go back to uploading. This is level 3. The craft is still happening, but now a second job is running underneath it. You are learning keywords. You are studying which thumbnails get clicks and which ones disappear into the feed. You record a producer tag in your bedroom, your own voice saying your own name over a hi-hat, and you bake it into every file you upload. You are building infrastructure that has nothing to do with sound and everything to do with being found. You resent this briefly. Then you stop, because resentment is expensive and you cannot afford it at this level. The placement attempt comes next. You find a local artist, decent following, active on socials, clearly looking for sound. You send 3 beats. You hear nothing. You send to 12 more. 1 responds. The beat they want is not your best one. You license it anyway, because the relationship matters more than the record right now, and because you understand, even at this stage, that 1 response out of 13 is not a failure rate, it is the actual conversion rate of this industry, and knowing that is the only thing that keeps you sending. The song drops. Your beat is in it. Your name is not in the credits. You find out 3 weeks later, scrolling through the release on your phone at a red light. You make a note. Not an angry one, a practical one. You now know exactly what to put in the next licensing agreement. You keep moving. Level 4, the session producer. The room has acoustic panels on the walls. Real ones, not foam from a hardware store, not moving blankets zip-tied to a frame. You are sitting behind a console that costs more than your first car, next to an engineer who has worked with names you have heard on the radio, and you are there as a producer. Not a client. Not an intern. A producer. The distinction is invisible to anyone outside the room and enormous to everyone inside it. The artist steps into the booth. You have a session open, Omnisphere loaded, drums already roughed in, a key locked. The artist listens once and asks you to pull the 808 back. You pull it back. They ask for more air in the top end. You open the high shelf and add it. They ask if you can shift the key down a half step because it's sitting too high for where they want to push. You shift it. You do not explain your original choices. You do not defend them. This is the discipline, holding your craft loosely enough to collaborate without losing it. The work is better for it and you know that, and knowing it makes it easier. This is nothing like building alone. The feedback loop is immediate and it is not always kind and it is always useful. In the bedroom, you are the only judge. Here, the verdict comes in real time, from someone whose voice has to live inside the record. That accountability sharpens you faster than a year of solo sessions. Then someone passes your name to someone else. A meeting gets scheduled in a building with a logo you recognize on the directory. You sit across from an A&R who asks specific questions, not about your background, about your process. The meeting is 20 minutes. You expected an hour. They are not signing you. They are watching you. You understand the difference immediately and you do not confuse the two. You produce a record that gets placed. It performs. You check the streaming numbers every morning for 2 weeks, watching the count climb, refreshing before coffee, doing the math on what it means. Then you stop checking. The number is real. It is also not the thing. You are not sure yet what the thing is. You keep working. Level 5, the name. Your sound is identifiable now. Not because you designed it that way, because you made enough decisions consistently enough that the decisions became a signature. A&Rs reference your name in rooms you are not in. Sync licenses come in for placements in film and television. The money is real. The access is real. Neither of them is the thing you were chasing at 2 a.m. with a free DAW open and one loop playing on repeat. You carry this without ceremony. There is no one to share it with who would understand it the way it actually is. Here's what mastery costs that nobody posts about. You can hear a record now and know within 8 bars what is wrong with the mix and exactly how to fix it. That knowledge is not always a gift. You sit in a car, a song comes on that you loved at level 1, and instead of feeling it, you are cataloging it. The sidechain pumping too hard against the vocal. The low end fighting itself below 80 Hz. The snare sitting in a frequency pocket that belongs to the hi-hat. You hear all of it before the first chorus lands. Some of the joy has been replaced by information. You have made your peace with this trade. You did not get a vote. The emails are different now. The conversations are different. Someone calls you for a session and the rate they quote is the rate you used to think only happened to other people. You take the session. You do the work. You do not confuse the rate with the arrival, because you have been here long enough to know there is no arrival, only the next record, the next room, the next decision about what your name gets attached to and what it doesn't. Then, late on a Tuesday, something stops you. Not a crisis. A thought. Somewhere tonight, someone is opening a free DAW on a borrowed laptop for the first time. They do not know what a mixdown is. They do not know what stems are. They have a folder on the desktop and it is empty and they are about to put something in it. They are going to play it back and it is going to sound almost right and they are going to play it back again. That is you. That was always you. It is still happening, somewhere, right now, because of every record you made and every one you released before it was ready and every session you showed up to when you had no business being in the room yet. The work continues without you. Because of you. Despite you. That is the correct relationship to have with it at this level, and it is the only one that lasts. Subscribe if you want more of this, and watch the next video.